All right, now we're going to do some examples using the geometric sequence explicit formula. We've done all arithmetic so far. Let's do a few using the geometric one. So example number 1 says write the first 5 terms of the geometric sequence whose first term is 3 and whose common ratio is 2. And then write the formula that you would use to find the nth term. So we're going to write the first 5 terms. And the first term is 3. And the ratio is 2. That means it's times 2 every time. So 3 times 2 is 6, times 2 is 12, times 2 is 24, times 2 is 48. Okay, so now I need to write the formula. Well, the formula that we used on the first page of your notes, the formula for the nth term of a geometric sequence, we're going to do just like we did with the arithmetic formula. We plug in everything but the n. Okay, because the n is what you plug in if you're actually looking for a certain term. If you're looking for the 97th term, then your n is 97. So 97 here and 97 here. We're going to plug in a sub 1 and r. So you have to have a sub 1 and r. So my formula will say a sub n equals, and I have to have a sub 1. Well, that's the first term. I knew it. It was 3. It gave it to me. Times r, the r is the ratio, it gave me that too, which is a 2, to the n minus 1. And that's it. You just leave n in there because this is what you would use to find a term that you were asked to find. So you have to have the a sub 1 and the r. In arithmetic sequence, you have to have the a sub 1 and the d. Example number 2, write the first 5 terms of the geometric sequence and write the formula used to find the nth term. So I'm going to give 5 blanks here. And I've got a sub 1 is 2 and my r is 4. So that means it's times 4, which is 8, times 4, which is 32, times 4, which is 32 times 4 is 128, times 4 is 512. And if I was looking to find the nth term, the formula I need to know a sub 1 and I need to know r. So I leave a sub n in there. A sub 1 is 2. R is 4 to the n minus 1. And that's all you need to be able to write the formula. You leave the n in there because the n is where you would plug in if you're looking for a certain term. We're going to do that next. Example number 3. Find the 15th term of the geometric sequence whose first term is 20 and whose ratio is 1.05. So with geometric sequences, these numbers can get really, really big because you're multiplying every time, not just adding. So sometimes we might get really big answers here. That's okay. All right, so my formula says a sub n equals the first term, and let's see, I'm told here that the first term is 20, so 20 times my r, which is 1.05, because it says the common ratio is 1.05, raised to the n minus 1. Now in this case, it's asking me to find the 15th term. So if the formula is going to be the same no matter what for this particular sequence, the explicit formula, you could use this formula to find the 15th term, 27th term, 109th term, 2000th term. It doesn't matter. You'd use this same formula that starts here and then has this ratio. Well, we're going to find the 15th. So a sub 15 equals 20 times 1.05 to the 15 minus 1. N is 15 because I'm looking for the 15th term. I have a calculator that will do all of this awesomeness for us. So 20 times 1.05 to the 14th. So let's figure out what that is. Okay, so 1.05 to the 14th is 1.979999. Okay, I just did 1.05 to the 14th, right? And then I multiply that times 20. And I get 39.5986 etc. So I'm going to just stick with what we've been doing so far all along, which is kind of rounding to 2 decimal places. So I'll go, instead of 39.59, the 8 next to the 9 makes the 9 go up, and so it would be 39.60. So A sub 15 equals 39.60. All right, let's find the 12th term of the geometric sequence, whose first term is 14 and whose common ratio is -3. So let's plug everything into the formula. First of all, I'm going to write the formula with just A sub n. So if I was looking for any term out there, not just the 12th term, I like to write the formula. So A sub n equals A sub 1, which in this case it's 14. And then times my r, which my common ratio is -3. And then I raise that to the n minus 1. So I'm looking for the 12th term. So I'm going to find A sub 12 equals 14 times -3 to the 12 minus 1. So I'm going to do some calculating now. I'm going to take 14 times -3 to the 11th. 12 minus 1 is 11. And I'm just going to use my calculator to do this. I just want to point out, be really, really careful when you take -3 to the 11th power. You need to make sure you put the -3 in parentheses. Otherwise, the calculator doesn't do it right. So -3 to the 11th power is -177,147. So 14 times -177,147. And then I just take that number and multiply it times 14. And I get -2,480,058. So, okay, -2,480,058. Put your commas in here if it makes the number easier to read. That is A sub 12. Okay, so the 12th term, that doesn't seem like we're going very far to get such a big number. But if the common ratio is -3, so it's going up by, a ratio, you're multiplying by 3 every time, it's going to go up really, really fast. And then this is a -3, so we know this is one of those that has a negative and a positive and a negative and a positive. So, all right, I want you guys to try some of this stuff in the formative. It's only 13 questions. It's pretty short. Shouldn't take you guys that long to do, but I want you to think through them and see if you can figure out writing some of the formulas and finding the terms yourself. Have a great day.